continuing where we left off before, I think that this is an issue. If you look at color, you could see the truth in this. Like when I talk about the purple pill, and I mean, I bring up this concept after I started thinking about all this, and it's like Uncle Bruce would say, "Take the red pill." I would jokingly think like, "Hey, what happens if you take both pills at once, man?" Like it seems silly, but when I thought about it, when you combine red and blue, you get purple, and that is a higher frequency of color than either red or blue. And we started thinking about that in context of the revolution and continuing this loop of like this or that over and over again. It's like from 1999 and we're closer to now. Really, I started to see this becoming a problem, like with the advent of the Occupy movement and the 99%, like kill the 1%, kind of hang the 1%. That's what the Dark Knight Rises was really putting out into the consciousness, the cinema consciousness, was like the 99%, and then there's the 1%, and like, let's hang them, let's get rid of those guys. And that is like saying, there's the red pill and the blue pill. You want the red pill, fuck the blue pill. And that's like, I started to see that as a problem, because the moment we say that, we in effect just could create the problem that we were trying to solve the whole time. And when you start looking at the color purple, or the third eye chakra and what that represents, and the sixth density, it's a concept of unity, where the yin and the yang are no longer yin and yang. They're part of this greater consciousness, this greater idea. And it's when you move down into the fifth chakra, I think that the yin yang itself is really expressed. And in our simple world, there's this or that, there's yin and yang, but I think as much as there is like the past and the future, I think there are parallel existences as well. And the fifth density, or the fifth dimension, I think, is a place where all of these choices exist at once. So you can see like all of these, you can see like all of these choices, and you're in that state. The sixth density is a place where all of those things have happened, and they already exist. So I think when the metaphor of taking the purple pill is resonant of moving into the new paradigm of unity and holism, not perpetuating revolution, but to in effect create an evolution. People have not understood what I meant with this whole purple pill thing, and it's like, like, no, but the red pill's good. It's like, why take both? Like, the blue pill is bad. And it's like, well, this is part of the problem with the thinking. It's like the good and bad, that's just a polarization that comes from this whole yin-yang thing. And it's the new paradigm we're moving into, the one that we're really starting to feel, is none of that exists anymore. It's like time is a linear strand, or where it's like there's only this or that. It's like that. We're starting to see those two realities blend in a way that we're not used to. And the reason I wanted to even do this video, I think, in the first place, was I watched this thing on YouTube called 5D Earth. Will some people be left behind? And the guy in the video, it's kind of lame, actually. It cuts off at the end, and it leaves it up to the audience. Like, the guy is like, well, do you think people will get left behind? Send an email to me, and we'll talk about it. And as I read more and more about it, you can feel it. Like, there's some people saying, yeah, I believe people will be left behind. Some people will be left behind. And as much as, like, there is a reality to that concept, I think the more that we even talk about saying, like, oh, there will be people that left behind, if you're not concluding yourself in that situation, then I think you're walking on thin ice. Just like the 1%ers were doing in Dark Knight Rises, because as much as we like to point fingers or have judgmental assessments of things, the new paradigm is making it strongly apparent that we're not separate from the universe, and that when you point finger at someone else, I'm seeing more and more, it's like point the finger at yourself too, because what you do to others will not only come back to you, but what you do to others is doing to yourself. It's no longer like this, what you're going to do to somebody in 3 weeks' time, it's going to happen. Like, the closer we move to 2012 and to the present moment, it's instantaneous. What you do happens back to you. That's why, like, this do unto others as you will do to them. That's, like, why that was brought up back then. It's one of these very, very important fundamental, like, laws, or, like not, like a physical law of the universe, as opposed to, like, there's a rule. I think that this video provoked me to want to talk about this because the threads were all, you could see, as much as there are spiritually enlightened people and there's really like good, well-intended statements that are made, I think this is a really good opportunity for all of us to look within and recognize the yin and yang within ourselves, and to change our understanding so that we're no longer looking at it in like moral terms of good and evil or right and wrong, but to look at it more of a digital sense where there are right turns and there are left turns. If you only make right turns, or if you only make good, quote-unquote, good decisions, and you steer away from the quote-unquote bad decisions, if you look at that and the relevance of like making only right turns, where are you going to go? You're going to go nowhere. If you have to go from here to there and you keep making right turns, you're just going to go in a circle over and over and over again. You have to make left turns in order to get to your decision. So this is the change in understanding that I think we need to break through and owe up to, is that it's not like it's like this concept of sin. People, when they hear the word sin from biblical sense, they think of like bad choices or like adultery, murder, cursing, sins. But the real translation of sin is to miss your mark. So like, if this was a game of darts and the goal and the point was not to sin, and then there were rules made up so that if you sin, you have to like stop playing. I mean, like, yes, the whole you sin in order to like learn how to hit the right point. If we are not given that opportunity to learn, then how are we going to learn? If we keep being told the answer as opposed to being provoked to learn the answer on our own, we're going to go nowhere. We're going to go in circles. And that is this concept of the red pill. As much as a great thing it was in 1999, that's what it was. It was great in 1999. We cannot live in this red pill, blue pill world anymore. This is my advice to me and everyone who's listening. Start to look at this as a metaphor for unifying polarities. And I can't tell you what that means. That's something that you have to determine on your own. You have to feel that out. And the thing is like, it has to do with not being afraid, but also realizing that your imagination is not just this thing that's up there taking up space. It's an intelligence that helps you make guided decisions. So if you learn to accept your imagination for what it is, a part of yourself that's helping you get to where you need to go better and quicker and more efficiently, and then also not being afraid to live in the moment and to make choices. The worst thing that you can do in this world is to not make a choice. And the thing is as much as there's the choice, you red pill, blue pill, all this stuff is just confusing, I think. And it's like, that's why I came up with this purple pill thing, because I started to get to a point where it's like, I didn't want to take the red pill. And then I'm like, wait a minute, am I fucked up here? Do I want to like live in the world that is like falling apart? And I don't believe that's so. I believe that it's standing firmly in a new world which consists of a physical, material plane and this spiritual, non-material plane. When we, like in Indiana Jones, a penitent man shall pass. And that's like Indiana Jones gathering up the strength to walk across this bridge that didn't look like it was there. But once he just believed it, it appeared. And then he could walk across air, it seemed. It was an illusion that he got through once he let go of the fear and believed. And that's the thing, is we're moving out of this paradigm of believing. Once we experience all this, and everyone experiences it in their own way, we can move into this new paradigm. So I'm not saying go out there and start taking all the pills you find. I'm just saying this is a metaphor for the new consciousness, for a unified consciousness, and for a love informed by wisdom, unified by light consciousness. That is what we're moving into right now. So I would like to end this with a message to all of you out there. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holiday seasons. And it is 4:20 p.m. You know what I'm going to maybe think about doing. Go probably get some hamburgers. See ya.